بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة وأزكى التسليم. Dear brothers and sisters everywhere, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today inshallah we're going to resume our reflections on Surat Ta-Ha, and we have reached ayah number 86, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فرجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا. Then Musa returned to his people in a state of anger and sorrow. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam of what his people were doing, he became extremely angry and upset with them. He was very worried for them. During this time he received the Torah, which contained their Sharia law, and this was a great honor for them. Why? For they were a people who used to worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every person with sound reason and good sense could see that what they were doing was false and foolish. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam returned to them in a state of anger and sorrow. The word for sorrow used here is asifa or asif, which is used to emphasize to the severity of his anger, or he was in a state of sadness because of what his people had done after him. فرجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا قال يا قوم ألم يعدكم ربكم وعدا حسنا. Prophet Musa said, "O my people, didn't your Lord promise you a fair promise? A fair promise? Did he not promise you in that which I have spoken to you every good in this life and in the hereafter, and the good and in the final outcome of things? You have already witnessed how he helped you defeat your enemy Pharaoh, and he made you victorious over him, and he blessed you with other bounties as well through his help." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, guided you, and gave you everything, gave you all that you need and more. So how come you do this? How could you? How dare you do that? فرجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا قال يا قوم ألم يعدكم ربكم وعدا حسنا أفطال عليكم العهد. Did then the promise seem to you long in coming, in waiting for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had promised you and forgetting his previous favors and the covenant that he made with you before? It has been only 40 nights. How could you do that? أَمْ أَرَدْتُمْ أَن يَحِلَّ عَلَيْكُمْ غَضَبٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Or did you desire that wrath should descend from your Lord on you? The word "or" here means nay, but. It is used here to separate between a previous item and a coming item. It is as if it is saying nay, but you want to make permissible the anger of your Lord upon you by what you have done. Therefore, you have broken your promise to me. The children of Israel said in reply to Prophet Moses' blame and rebuke, فَأَخْلَفْتُمْ موعدي. So you broke my covenant. This means what you promised me regarding the unity of Allah and the establishment of His command. قالوا ما أخلفنا موعدك بملكنا. This is what they said. That was their reply. قالوا ما أخلفنا موعدك بملكنا. They said, we broke not our promise to you of our own will, by our power and our choice. It was beyond our control. It was beyond our control. It means that we didn't break our promise to you if we had control over our affairs. If we had control and freedom, we would have followed our own desires and deviated from our commitment. However, we were overpowered and influenced by the deceitful tactics of the As-Samiri, who presented a persuasive argument. Now they are revealing how they were deceived. ولكن حملنا ولكننا حملنا أوزارا من زينة القوم فقذفناها. But we were made to carry the weight of the ornaments of the people, then we cast them. They began making lame excuses, and they told him how they got rid of that which they were carrying of Coptic jewelry that they had borrowed from them, from the Egyptian Copts, when they left Egypt. Therefore, they cast it, meaning that they threw it away. Thus, it became a calf that made a moaning sound that would gradually rise in pitch. And this calf was an ordeal, a hindrance and test. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَكَذَلِكَ أَلْقَى السَّامِرِي. That was what السامري suggested. It is possible that he threw just as they threw. فَكَذَلِكَ أَلْقَى السَّامِرِي. It is possible that this throwing, meaning the whispering, was cast upon them by the Samiri. And he approached them with deceptive reasoning, intending to lead them into disbelief. He made them believe that you betrayed the Egyptians when you borrowed their jewelry and then kept it, which is forbidden for you. You must abandon it. The wicked one forgot that Prophet Musa only commanded them to do so by the order of Allah. And it is Allah who determines what is permissible and what is forbidden. Whatever He permits is halal, and whatever He forbids is haram for sure. فأخرج لهم عجلا جسدا له خوار. Then he took out of the fire for them a statue of a calf which was mooing. So he produced for them, the Samiri produced for them a calf, a body that resembles a calf, which had a mooing sound. It had a voice. It was crafted with great skill, and their nature inclined towards worshipping idols made of gold. They were prepared to engage in polytheism, as evidenced by the request to Prophet Musa as mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-A'raf, to make a god for them when they came across a people worshipping idols. فقالوا هذا إلهكم وإله موسى فنسي. فقالوا هذا إلهكم وإله موسى. They said, this is your God and the God of Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This means that As-Samiri, his followers and those who agreed with him said, this is your God and the God of Prophet Musa. So they became religiously devoted to it, to the calf, and they loved it with a love that they had never loved anything else with before. فَنَسِيَ, but he had forgotten. He abandoned what he was following of the religion of Islam. This is referring to As-Samiri. If the pronoun refers to Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam, وَإِلَهُ مُوسَى فَنَسِيَ, the meaning should be or is, this is the God of Musa. But he forgot his God, his Lord here. This is the Lord or the God of Musa, but he forgot him here, and he went to search for him. And if the pronoun refers to As-Samiri, the meaning is the Samiri forgot his Lord by committing that act, and he abandoned the apparent belief he had, or the Samiri forgot that the calf cannot be a God or a Lord, as indicated by the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَفَلَا يَرَوْنَ أَلَّا يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْهِمْ قَوْلًا وَلَا يَمْلِكُ لَهُمْ ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا. Did they not see that it couldn't return them a word for answer, and that it had no power either to harm them or to do them good? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in refuting them and rebuking them, and also explaining to them their folly and foolishness in that which they had done. This is about the calf. Do they not see that it doesn't respond to them when they ask it and when they speak to it? ولا يملك لهم ضرا ولا نفعا, and that it had no power either to harm them or to do them good. It means that the calf is incapable of speech, causing harm or benefit. He's incapable of doing anything. So how can you take it as a god? Don't they see that it doesn't respond to them when they ask it, nor does it address them? It has no power to bring them harm or benefit in their worldly life or in the hereafter. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas said, nay, by Allah, the moaning sound of the calf was nothing but wind. It was only wind that would enter into its behind and come out of its mouth, thus causing it to make a sound. In a hadith of Al-Fitun, recorded from Imam Al-Hasan Al-Basri, it is mentioned that this calf's name was Bahmut, in reference to the excuse of these ignorant people. They claimed that they were merely ridding themselves of the jewelry of the calves. In the process of doing so, they cast the jewelry into the pit of fire and ended up worshipping the calf. Thus, they were seeking to rid themselves of something detestable, but wound up doing something even worse, which is worshipping the calf. This is similar to an authentic narration reported from Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar, in which a man from Iraq asked him about the ruling of mosquitoes' blood if it gets on one's garment. The man wanted to know if it is permissible to pray in such a garment or not. Ibn Umar replied by saying, look at the people of Iraq. They killed the grandson of, some of them for sure, some among them who were transgressors. They killed the grandson of the Messenger of Allah, Al-Hussein, and yet they are asking about the blood of the mosquito. The Samiri, who was with them, or one of them, crafted outlets in the calf that produced a sound similar to a lowing sound, but there was no life or spirit in it. It was just a lifeless body. They barely saw a golden calf being molded when they forgot their Lord who had saved them from the land of humiliation. They became engrossed with the golden calf. In a state of confusion and the loss of spiritual insight, they said, this is your God, this is your Lord and the God of Musa. Meanwhile, Prophet Musa was searching for him on the mountain, and he was here with us. Musa had forgotten the way to his Lord and deviated from it. You can imagine the line of thinking and the way of thinking those people had back then. ولقد قال لهم هارون من قبل يا قوم إنما فتنتم به وإن ربكم الرحمن. And Harun indeed had said to them beforehand, O my people, you are being tried in this. This is a test, an ordeal for you. And verily, your Lord is Allah, the most gracious. Allah informs of Prophet Harun's attempt to prohibit them from worshipping the calf, and he's telling them that this was only a test for them. He told them that their Lord was the most beneficent, who created everything and decreed for everything its just measure. He is the owner of the mighty throne, the one who does whatever he wants, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَاتَّبِعُونِي وَأَطِيعُوا أَمْرِي. So follow me and obey my order. Follow me in that which I am commanding you with, and leave that which I forbid you from. قالوا, that was their response. قالوا لن نبرح عليه عاكفين حتى يرجع إلينا موسى. They said, we will not stop worshipping it until Musa returns to us. We will not cease in our worship of the calf, of this calf, until we hear what Musa has to say about it. So they opposed Harun in this matter, and they fought against him, nearly killing him. قال يا هارون ما منعك إذ رأيتهم ضلوا. When Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam returned to his people, he addressed his brother Prophet Harun sallallahu alayhi wasallam and said, "O Harun, what prevented you when you saw them going astray? ألا تتبعني, that you followed me not according to my advice to you. Have you then disobeyed my order?" So Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam returned back to them and asked his brother, after he saw the great matter that they had taken place among them, with this he became filled with anger and he threw down the divine tablets that he had in his hand. Then he grabbed his brother Harun by his head and pulled him towards him. Then he began to blame his brother Harun by saying, "You should have informed me of this matter as soon as it happened. أَفَعَصَيْتَ أَمْرِي? Have you then disobeyed my order in that which I entrusted to you?" Referring to Prophet Musa's statement, "أخلفني في قومي وأصلح ولا تتبع سبيل المفسدين." Replace me among my people, act in the right way and follow not the way of the mischief makers. قال يا ابن Prophet Harun said, قال يا ابن O son of my mother. This mentioning of the mother was Harun's attempt to soften Prophet Musa's anger, because he was Prophet Musa's biological brother and they had the same parents. That mentioning of the mother here is more delicate and profound in bringing about gentleness and mildness. So we have to learn from this. يا ابن لا تأخذ بلحيتي ولا برأسي. Oh, son of my mother, seize me not by my beard nor by my head. إني خشيت أن تقول فرقت بين بني إسرائيل. Verily, I feared lest you should say, you have caused a division among the children of Israel. I was afraid to come after you and to follow you, to come after you and inform you of this, because I thought you might accuse me of leaving them alone and causing division between them. This was Harun's excuse to Prophet Musa sallallahu alaihi wasallam for being delayed from coming to him and informing him of the great mishap that took place. وَلَمْ تَرْقُبْ قَوْلِي, and you have not respected my word, and you didn't take care of what I commanded you to do when I left you in charge of them. And this shows that Prophet Harun sallallahu alayhi wasallam was respectful and obedient to Prophet Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Dear brothers and sisters, here we come to the end of this episode. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us all from among those who listen to the statements and follow the best of them. Until we meet again, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.